At the top of the new year, it's become a tradition for thousands to gather throughout the country for the 4th annual Women's March. In New York City, women, men, and families came together to rise and roar for change. Protesters were lined up from 61st Street and Columbus Circle to 72nd Street alongside Central Park West, waiting patiently in the bitter cold, while speakers such as Women's March Alliance board member and co-chair of the 2020 Rise and Roar March, Sunma Artsu-Brown, rallied the crowd, reminding everyone how on this day, women write the narrative.
We are tired of the injustice, that we are tired of sexual harassment, that we are tired of guns in our streets.
Making history was the youngest roarer, 15-year-old author and founder of #1000 Black Girl Books, Marley Diaz, who roared against injustice.
Girls like myself are forces for change, not just because we are special, but rather because of our families. The first institution in our lives invested and continues to invest in us. Ultimately, all the major social issues in the world that matter to us, whether it's racial inequality or global warming, all these things are personal.
Standing up against age and gender discrimination in broadcasts with the lawsuit against Charter Communication were New York One anchors and reporters Kristen Shaughnessy, Amanda Farinacci, Janine Ramirez, Marisol Seda, and two-time Emmy winner Roma Torre.
We are newswomen, and here is the news of the day. We are fighting for our careers in much the same way many of you may and will have to fight for your careers when you reach a certain age.
Notables such as Honorable Manhattan Borough President Gail Brewer, Lieutenant Governor Katherine Hochul, Assemblymember Mathilde Frontis, and Senator Chuck Schumer were some of the distinguished elected officials to participate in this year's march. New York City Comptroller Scott Stringer stood in solidarity with his Chief Diversity Officer, Wendy Garcia, who roared for women's equality.
It will no longer be that the princess needed saving from the prince to get into her kingdom, but that the two have worked together to create a kingdom where every little boy and every single little girl has access to the kingdom's throne.
I marched with notable Bronx poet Mariposa.
This intergenerational march, we have the young people, we have people that have been in this movement and in many social movements for decades, and we have the next generation.
And my daughter, Charmvitha, who at 10 years old understands the importance of girl power.
Women also need justice as much as men.
But she wasn't the only kid out there. We came across Bronx Middle School, MS 363, teaching the next generation the importance of exercising their voices to be a stand for social justice. In the words of our next generation,
Women united will never be divided.
Reporting for BronxNet, Rhina Valentin.